No one expected the hazard. It was just a burning front end loader. But just 2 minutes into fighting the fire, a 7-foot tire exploded, killing Andrew Pontious instantly. Back in June, there was a fire at the Palmdale Quarry in a large front end loader. When the fire initially started, the operator discharged a dry chem extinguisher to try to stop the flames. Employees of the quarry actually tried to handle things themselves. They ended up using 3,000 gallons of water from one of their water tenders, but they eventually realized they weren't making progress and called the fire department. By the time the LA County Fire Department got on scene, the fire had already been burning for 30 minutes. And just 4 minutes prior to their arrival, one of the rear tires of that front end loader, it actually exploded. The blast broke out the window of a quarry vehicle that was 120 feet away. The employees at that time, they decided they needed to stage even further back away from this vehicle. Upon arrival, Andrew was on one of the first crews fighting this fire. Then it happened. The tire detonated with enough force to launch metal and rubber debris the length of a football field. Andrew was killed instantly by the blast, and another firefighter was injured. This wasn't a normal tire blowout. This was a violent explosion. It's truly heartbreaking when there's a line of duty death. The public, they just don't understand. The emergency, it doesn't stop. There's no timeout, no pause button. Crews have to keep going. They have to keep working alongside the memory of now their fallen brother, watching over, draped in an American flag. But the respect, the honor is unwavering as he's finally transported away. Hours later, a solemn tribute to his sacrifice. Andrew wasn't just a firefighter. He was a husband, a father, just 1 year away from retirement. So what exactly caused this tire to explode? When a tire burns, pressure builds up fast. That's because of the ideal gas law. PV equals nRT. In the case of the tire, the volume stays the same. It might change a little bit as things swell, but generally speaking, it doesn't change. But the temperature, that goes up due to the fire. That forces the pressure to rise as well. So with a tire like this, it starts at 90 psi. That's already pretty high. The heat, it then drives that pressure even higher to over 200 psi. In a perfect world, the tire would just rupture because it can no longer contain the pressure. But something else happens. At 365 degrees Fahrenheit, the rubber, it releases flammable gases, setting off a chemical reaction. The result? A deadly blast, and in this case, throwing debris up to 350 feet away, just like a bomb. It can create shock waves and pressures over 1,000 psi. As you'd expect, the bigger the tire, the bigger the explosion. And this front end loader had tires nearly 7 feet tall. When you look at shockwave pressures, it doesn't take much to cause injury. Under 1.5 psi, that's pretty safe. But 1.5 to 14.5 psi can cause injury. 14.5 psi to 43.4 psi, that can cause a fatal injury. And anything over 43.5 psi, that's fatal. This is just the shock wave. The other issue you have, chunks of rubber, metal projectiles, the shrapnel, that can also cause major injury or even death. Only a few months later, on August 27, 2024, 2 aircraft mechanics lost their lives in Atlanta, Georgia due to a tragic tire blowout. While most people associate tire hazards with blowouts on the road, these incidents show that the risks are significant even in controlled environments. What's shocking is that these are not isolated events. Just this summer, 2 other fatal incidents involving tires occurred at automotive service centers. If a tire fails while being filled, the pressure within that tire can turn it into a deadly projectile. It's a reminder that even routine maintenance tasks like inflating a tire require some safety measures. I'd argue that most firefighters have no idea that heavy equipment tires like this, that they could even explode this way. It's not just heavy equipment. Commercial vehicles like semi-trucks, tractor trailers, 18-wheelers, depending on where you're at. They also have larger, high-pressure tires. How many of us would have just gone in there to fight the fire, do the exact same things these crews did, not realizing there's a danger, a significant danger? Nobody on scene knew how long this vehicle had been burning. Nobody warned them that a tire had already exploded, sending debris over 150 feet away. Had the crews had this information, could it have changed the outcome? After Andrew's death, LA County issued new safety guidelines for fires involving heavy equipment. Stay at least 50 feet away. Unless there's a rescue, in that case you can come within 15 feet of the tire. For a tractor trailer, That guidance is similar, but the distances are reduced to staying at least 20 feet away and no closer than 10 feet away if there's a rescue. This guidance has been sent out to departments across California, but it's critical information for the entire fire service. Now imagine what happens when a massive tire like this explodes, like the one Andrew is facing. It's devastating. And in situations like these, we don't just walk away. Even when one of us falls, we finish the job, with our fallen brother always in mind. Andrew gave everything for the job he loved. His sacrifice is going to change how firefighters respond to heavy equipment fires, and his story will serve as a powerful reminder of the dangers we face every day. May we never forget Andrew's courage, and may we honor his memory by keeping each other safe.